Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of September the 10th, 2021. Angelus and Creek's History with Alita, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado in the United States, and my co-host Angelus hasn't arrived yet, but he's supposed to be here pretty quick. And we have Do Not Stand By, with us. So how's it going, Do Not Stand By?
Hi, Craig. It's doing pretty well. I managed to get in 99 three-pointers while shooting basketball this morning. So Alita day +1, I managed to get 99.
99 three-pointers. Wow. How long did it take you to do that?
Well, it probably took me about half an hour.
Oh. Well, you must be a pretty good basketball player, Do Not Stand By. So remind me not to challenge you in basketball sometime. So anyway, go ahead.
I'm keeping sharp on basketball skills until COVID is over, and then I'll have an advantage over everybody else.
Yeah. I've kind of stayed. I used to play basketball years and years ago. I played a little basketball, just nothing major. Small informal league. That kind of thing. And I played. I played forward. So even some center, but I'm not really big enough to play center. So, but anyway, that was a few years ago actually. So. But anyway, it's good to have you. You're becoming somewhat of a a regular now, I think, and we're glad to have you on board too for that.
Yeah, thanks to you. Thanks for all the reminders and the invitations.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody who wants to jump on the stream, there's the link. I just put it in the chat. So if you want to come on and talk about your history with Alita, I guess we're going to go over Angelus and my history first, and it's going to be pretty quick. We're just going to show a couple of photos that we have that we've kept over the years, and we're going to show a couple of pieces of art that we've had done, and that sort of thing. So Angelus might have got called in to work too. That's let me check the old Twitter DMs here. He just said he's going to be a few minutes late, so he's good. So he'll be here pretty quick. So anyway, how's things up there in Arvada?
Hot. I think we got to 100 degrees.
Yes, it's been like that here too. Right now it's like 94, I think, but and 94, I guess for you folks that are Celsius, I think that's probably about like 40 degrees Celsius. That's my gut feeling about it anyway, something like that. So.
Yeah, I think 37 degrees C is body temperature, so that's about 98 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, okay, so about 30, and between 35 and 40 then. So, yeah, no big deal there. So, okay, so anything to report? I know one thing I wanted to do before we got going here is I wanted to show everyone, and as you can see, the creek is back in the Kansas bar. So. This is what, I don't know if you can see that too well because the lighting is pretty bad, but this is what Do Not Stand By gave me and Alita Rave, and once again, I can't recall the other fellow's handle.
Do Not Flip.
Yeah. He gave us each one of these, and this thing was on my, refrigerator. Oh, Angelus just showed up, so that's good. So anyway, how's it going, Angelus?
Alita.
Yes. So anyway, we surely enjoyed that, with Do Not Stand By, seeing that thing in 3D. And I think you got a 3D showing tonight, don't you?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not for Alita. Unfortunately, my neighborhood decided that this month was going to be Foundation Month, Isaac Asimov's Foundation, because
that is an excellent series.
It's coming out September 24th on Apple TV Plus. So in anticipation of Foundation's premiere, we're going to be watching Star Wars movies over the next 2 Fridays, tonight and next Friday as well.
Yeah, I read that book back in I guess it was the 70s, I think. Actually, there's 3 books. And I don't remember much about it except the main protagonist is a guy named Harry Seldon. He's supposed to be a psychometrician or not
Psychohistorian.
psychohistorian. That's right.
Yeah.
And he calculates what the future is going to be based on the history and stuff
Right.
like that. And then I guess in the Foundation and Empire they had a character called the Mule that I guess had some extraordinary mental powers, so that threatened the Foundation. So
Yeah,
anyway.
It's been said that Foundation is the inspiration for Star Wars because it's where the Galactic Empire started in science fiction, and also mentalics, people who have powers like the Force.
Yeah.
So Jedi's also kind of came from Foundation.
Yeah, like I say, I haven't read those. I haven't read that. I think it was 3 or 4 books, if I remember. And I don't remember much about them. It's been so long since I read those books.
Well, that's good. Then you won't feel too attached to them when you watch the TV series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So, I got a lot of reading and a lot of TV series and stuff to watch. I promised Maxie that I would have his volume 5 read. For his fanfic. So fan fiction. So anyway, I'm gonna read that. And I got a short weekend to do, and I got a powerlifting meeting on Sunday. So, and after that, I'll probably just want to come back and take a nap.
You've got a manga to read too, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I got volume 7 of Mars Chronicles. I sure do. I did pick it up, and I read the first couple of pages, but something came up, and I had to put it back down, so I had to reread that. But yeah, how's it going, Angelus? How's things down there, down in Brisbane there?
Nice and quiet.
Nice. How's the COVID situation there?
I guess it's okay. We're not in lockdown. Most people seem to be content to wear masks and go about their daily business.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry.
So, that's all right. Sounds like you got a little bit of a cold yourself, and you're glad that's not COVID, I'm so sure. You've been vaccinated, though, haven't you?
Me, no.
You haven't?
Don't know how to.
Okay.
Like as in where to go sort of thing.
Ah, okay. Because I think Maxie said he was fully vaccinated. By the way, Maxie's not going to be able to make it tonight. He had some family I guess obligations that he had to take care of. So anyway, so we'll see him tomorrow on Radio Chaos Stream and and next week probably. So what's happening in Brisbane there, Angelus?
Just winding down and actually catching up on sleep.
Do you have to work those weird shifts like firemen do, or do you or you just
yeah, I mean, I'm meant to be working 7 to 7, like AM to PM tomorrow, but let's just say I'm confident that my boss isn't the type to watch live streaming. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm might call in sick for that.
New job and already called in sick. Oh my. By the way, look who just dropped. Oh, wait a minute, I picked the wrong thing here. Look who just dropped in here. Hot Toys Alita in the Kansas bar. So anyway, that's pretty cool, I guess. So okay, I guess getting right into it, we want to talk about, now we're going to kind of very briefly go through mine and Angelus's history with Alita. Actually, this is a topic that Angelus picked out, which, I thought was a great idea, because both of us are newbies, I guess, or newer, I guess, to the, to the Alita Army. Some of the older, folks, and I don't mean older chronological age-wise, but I mean, just been with the Alita Army longer than us. So if Maxie was here, we could get the, kind of the rundown from the very beginning of the Alita Army, because he's one of the, I guess you could call him a founding father, I suppose. So anyway, but we're going to kind of go over just some brief kind of pictures that I guess Angelus and I have in a couple of our commissions. Now, Angelus, you said this was your earliest pick that you had for Alita, and it was what, in August of last year? It seems like you had some earlier than that, but
it's the earliest I had, and like I know that I've always been pretty crazy about Alita, so I rarely ever like delete Alita pics unless I find a better quality version of it.
yeah. It's hard for me to believe you don't have any that's older than that, though. That because you actually were in the Elite Army before I was. I think you came in at the very end of 2019, didn't you?
Yeah, and I guess you could say that the seed was planted perhaps even long before that, but I guess that's just where the the snow, like the snowball was still rolling down the hill before it turned into an avalanche.
Yeah.
And so that's the earliest pick, dated back August 19th. I do remember that like I had no what was no awareness of the very first Alita Day and how everyone sent in all their postcards and whatnot, and Rosa receiving it and all that other jazz. And that's before she moved on to the current agency that she's working with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And,
back when she that's when she had social media accounts too, still, didn't she?
Yeah, so I guess you could say that I probably joined the Alita Army maybe a little bit after that, because I guess I don't know how active the guys were in advertising it, but I would have been confident that I would have picked up on it. And also, it was around that time that I sort of returned to Twitter, because like I always had an account long before that, but I even deleted the app because I thought, I'm always on Facebook. I don't really need like Twitter. And then, all of a sudden joined the Alita Army. I've got Twitter, Instagram, Discord. I've got, and I guess so. Yeah, what my best guess is, around the end of August, beginning of September, which is of course like right on the eve of Alita Day.
Yeah. We had a really successful Alita Day, I think, yesterday. I think Amy was going to come on, but something came up at work. She couldn't make it, so she was going to come on today too. But I think she said yesterday and now this was, probably around, 3 p.m. our time in Mountain, which is going to be about 7 a.m. I guess there in Straya. So and certainly probably about 10 or 11 p.m. in Europe, but she said we had like over 13,000 tweets, that had Give Alita her sequels, and I can't imagine it didn't go higher than that. I am so sure, that it probably did, go much higher than that. And I've still seen it today. I mean, I didn't get on Twitter a lot today, but I did see a couple of tweets that had Give Alita her sequel still even today, but it wouldn't be trending today, so I think we had a really successful Alita Day yesterday, and that's pretty cool,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just reading what Ash Blackwood was.
Oh no, that's all right. Yeah. Anyway, this is your commission that you got from Cran. So tell us a little bit about this. Now, was this in 2019 you got this, or was this just last year? I don't recall. I think you got your commission before I got mine. So,
No, this definitely was last year. And the factor leading up to that is because it was probably mid last year that we got put into, I guess, some serious lockdown when the first wave of COVID started hitting.
so
and,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I can't even remember what month it was now, but this was actually my second commission.
Oh,
the first was done by a different artist. And it was
okay.
more of and it was for the Lucifer TV series.
Oh,
And,
okay. Okay. But that wasn't an Alita commission, was it?
No.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I guess you could say that was my a prelude of things to come, because I was part of that movement.
Yeah.
And it has a story similar to Alita. And in fact, my story with them is very similar to Alita's. And just to make a long story short, I was bored one night, watched something on Netflix, and I chose to watch Lucifer. Watched the first episode, and I pretty much binged all 2 seasons of it over the next couple of weeks, because we were all on lockdown.
Yeah.
We were getting paid by we had supplements from the government. The government basically paid our job to pay us, sort of thing. So that way, you know, the whole financial stock market sort of bullshit wouldn't crash.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I had nothing to do, and I watched the series.
Yeah.
Season 2 came out, season 3 came out, and then it really, for a few months there, it was cancelled with no hope of a comeback. But then their campaign rose up, and they were successful, and that was sort of my introduction to the fandom.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
and that would have been back in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, gee. Maybe 2017, 2018, I'd like to say. And so, yeah, that's when I met a couple of the other people online. This chick did the artwork for Lucifer for me, and when I joined up the Alita Army, fast forwarding back to this moment in time, I knew that there wasn't much Alita merch. I think there was, it'll probably all be discarded or bought out anyway by a few Alita nuts, Maxi.
Yeah, exactly.
And
hold those thoughts, because I want to just go through a couple of pictures here, and then we're going to get to the details after that. So, you know, and I want to get not stand by, you know, a little bit of his history when we get there too. Anyway, this is the Creek's earliest pick, and that was, I think, in June of last year. As this is when I say earliest pick, this is the earliest pick that I downloaded, you know, that I saw off of Twitter. And then you know, my earliest piece of art that I downloaded off of Twitter was this one, and then this was in March of last year, because that's about the same time I joined the Alita Army. And then certainly, you know, this is the commission. I think you guys have probably seen this, but this is the commission that Cran did for me. And I think she did this in September or October of last year. And this thing's hanging up in my gym right now. So it's something I look at when I work out in my gym. I don't work out in my gym that much because it's not that well equipped, except in the wintertime, you know, when it snows and stuff like that. Then I'll work out here, you know. But I think Angelus and I both have commissions going right now, you know. and I think Maxie has just received one. I think it was one with Alita and Adjicuddy, I think, that he had. So anyway, that's just some of the pictorial stuff or visuals there that we have about Alita. And so now we want to kind of get into the, kind of the meat, of this. And I guess what I want to do is I want to ask, do not stand by, and then Angelus and I will chime in at the end. By the way, we got a couple other folks coming too, so we'll be able to ask them these questions. Do not stand by. When was the first time that you actually became aware of Alita, or that you, saw her in either the anime, manga, or the movie?
I saw the cover of Battle Angel Alita, which was the OVA of Alita back in, I think, the early, maybe the late 1990s.
Okay.
So I probably saw the anime about the same time as James Cameron saw it. From what I read, Guillermo del Toro recommended the anime to James Cameron. So it's funny to think that I probably saw it about the same time that he did. And I was really impressed by it. I hadn't seen any cyberpunk anime that was of such high quality. I'd seen stuff like Bubblegum Crisis, and I also saw Ghost in the Shell, but this might be unpopular, but I thought Ghost in the Shell wasn't as good as Battle Angel Alita. I really was impressed more by Battle Angel Alita. But I was really disappointed to find out that it was just those 2 episodes in the OVA. And to find out more about Alita, I started to read manga. Cool.
By the way, Finn asked us, and he says both of you, I guess we'll do all 3 of us, I guess, was how long we've been Alita advocates. Now, I guess that means not just in the Alita Army. It means how long have you been kind of at least somewhat of a, could be a fan or something like that, but how long have you been involved with Alita or been an Alita advocate? So I guess do not stand by. You mentioned late 90s, right?
Well, I wouldn't say I was an Alita advocate until the movie came out, because although I liked Alita, I would mention the manga and OVAs to friends. I wasn't really hardcore about trying to get more Alita out there. And so if you define Alita advocate as somebody trying to get more Alita, then I didn't become that until after I saw the movie in 2019.
Yeah. How about you, Angelus? When did you actually become an Alita advocate itself?
Probably, when was the picture? Probably early August, around from July to early August.
Okay.
That's when I started. Like, I possibly would have seen the movie not long before then.
Okay.
Because that was when it was sort of like going through its last weeks of cinematic showing.
Yeah. That'd be early August of 2020, right?
2019, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, I knew that it was a manga, but I've only ever seen the OVA, and I actually quite liked it back then.
Yeah.
And I think I was maybe, barely a teenager when it did maybe cry back then. But anyway, but yeah, so I saw the movie and it really blew me away. So I started looking more into it. Again, I was only just getting back into Twitter, so it didn't even occur to me to sort of use that source. Just like did Google searches every now and then I guess you could say that it left breadcrumb trails that led me to the army. And yeah, I think to sum up the answer to the question is that one, YouTube showing. I guess the algorithm actually started loading up the leader videos, and I discovered Den, and I think, I can't remember because it's that long ago now, but I think Den was my, I guess my doorway, or you could say he was my recruiter, and he recruited me into the Alita army.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest, as they say, is history. That's when I guess my advocacy just exploded. I liked. There was a lot of firsts. I liked him for the first time. I saw the movies for the first time. I've been involved in fandoms and movements before then, but like nothing of this, like such a grand scale.
Yeah. Well, I know me. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so yeah, I guess it was like shortly after, like when I looked up that picture, for example, and that was dated back on the 9th of August, like it was probably shortly after that aside from Google searches, I did YouTube searches as well. That's when I discovered Den. Den led to the army. It's like, oh, look, there are the Aussies that like Alita, and then it led to Dizzy and Maxie, and the rest of they say is history. Yeah,
I guess for me, the first time I became aware of Alita was, I think, around 2005 or 2006, when I was in a comic book store, and you folks have heard the variations of this, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But I was in a comic book store, and I happened to see the manga, and I just went. I didn't read it, per se. I just kind of thumbed through it because I was in the store and I wasn't in there to buy. I was in there to look, which probably irritated the owner no end. But and I said, well, that's pretty cool, Alita Battle Angel Alita, but I didn't really, it didn't really trigger anything for me at that point, And then I guess, I saw some trailers for it in 2019, and it didn't really, I kind of remembered the character, but it didn't, it didn't really do much for me in terms of the trailer I saw. I think I saw, if it wasn't the first one, it was a very, very early one, And, some people have told me they really loved the trailer and all that, but to me, it just didn't do anything for me, But then, of course, as you guys all know, in March of 2020, I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was in HBO, and watching HBO rather, and I had nothing better to do because I've been to Dallas, Texas a whole bunch of times, so that really, I was tired. I just wanted to go back to the hotel room. But anyway, I was just kind of going through the channels. I just happened to hit Alita when it was right coming on, And I said, well, there's nothing better on. I guess I'll give this a chance, maybe, something like that. Just really nonchalant about it, And as I started watching it, it was like, oh, holy crap, this is good, And, and of course I watched the whole thing, and it really, really grabbed me, really grabbed me hard, And, especially that scene where, the F Your Mercy scene, that's when the Creek really, really had an affinity for the character, But anyway, after that, I loved the movie so much that it came on HBO 2 nights later, and I went back to the hotel room knowing it, and I didn't go anywhere. I just wanted to see the movie again, But you going to say something, Angelus?
I was just going to quickly use a sort of a baseball analogy.
Okay.
So you could say that you gave it a shot. So you'd be the pitcher in this scenario, and Alita would be the batter.
Yeah.
And so you decided to give her a shot and show her a bit of mercy, and she showed you what she thought of it.
Yeah. Yeah, or it could be as like she was like the pitcher and I was the batter, and she showed me her stuff, as they would say in baseball now, and I was like, holy crap, this is good. You could even go that way with it, So anyway, yeah. But, kind of like you, I didn't, I kind of, got on Twitter. Of course, I was on Twitter anyway, And I had gotten on Twitter because the company I'm contracted with, didn't want us on our regular Twitter channels to do any political type stuff. And I guess everybody on this stream knows my political leanings, but anyway, we don't need to get into that. But anyway, the CEO said no political tweets or posts on Facebook or any of this stuff. And that was a policy of the company. So I said, well, because we had clients following us, and we didn't want to offend anybody. So then I created a second Twitter account, that is not followed by any of the, any of my, any of our clients. And I'm on there, and I think I got up to 65, 65 followers relatively fast, but not, I'm in there looking at it and stuff like that. And I said, what the hell is this Alita Army thing? Because I kept seeing these tweets, so I went and looked at the hashtag and I said, whoa, this, movie and all that stuff. And then it wasn't long after that, I guess I met you, Angelus, and I met Maxie. I met Den. And I guess when was it? But you and I both started getting on Den's stream. I can't remember the exact time, but Den had a stream last year, and he did it actually Friday and Saturday night. And we would get on it, every time, So, and we had fun doing that. And then I was hooked, But it's kind of like Do Not Stand By. I didn't really get involved with the Alita Army at all until after I saw the movie. And then that, from that point on, it was like, after, get it. And I got on a Radio Chaos stream. I never will forget my first Radio Chaos stream I got on and my mic wouldn't work. So I was having to text everything, but, and I can't remember how long ago that was. That was over a year ago. But anyway, something like that. But, and then certainly after that, I watched Rusty Angel. And I liked it okay, anything with Alita I'm going to like for sure, But I didn't really watch the anime until after I'd seen the movie about 5 times or something like that, or 10 times, And then, of course, the rest is history after that. We just, I guess then when Den stopped his stream, Angelus and I decided to start another stream, because we didn't want there to be a vacuum there, so.
Well, you could say, like when Den took his break, there was a vacuum at least for us anyway, and it's like, well, Creaky can stream, I can host.
Yeah.
We'll literally, fill it up ourselves. So.
Yeah. And it was kind of one of those things where I think you had done a couple of hostings of Radio Chaos, but you were kind of green, and I was really green at managing streams and hosting. I was really green at, so it gave us opportunity to practice. And if anybody goes back and watches any of the earliest Alita live streams, you'll say, oh my gosh, these guys were amateurs, and we probably still are. So, but that's okay. We have fun doing it, and that's the main thing. By the way, some time ago, Ash Blackman rather asked, is Den the same as the guy? He's the last 300. Was he the last 300 when we met him? And the answer is yes. He went. I think he had that on his. I think that was his Twitter handle. I think. But that's what I remember him as, Den the last 300, so. Okay, so I guess we get right back into the, what we're talking about. So initially,
which also involves, sorry, because I can see Disney.
No, it's okay.
He should possibly even join us on stream.
Oh yeah, he certainly can. I thought I sent him a link.
Oh, you probably did, but
that's all right. Well, yeah, he could. Yeah, certainly. Anybody can join. I mean, we're not proud here. Anybody can join. So, matter of fact, let me put the
link in the thing.
Yeah, put the link back in the chat.
With that as well, like we've described, both Creaky and I, we were green when it comes to live streaming once. And,
yeah.
And if you want to dip your toes and even just come on for like 5 minutes, have a chat, and then sort of drop back out again, that's also fine as well. I mean, that's not like that's one of the main sort of points or reasons of this stream even. Is that you can do exactly that. You can dip your toes. You can. Is this my way of showing my passion for Alita? So if you've got a working mic, a working headset, or a setup, or if you even wanted to test your setup, jump right on.
Yeah. Funny question here from Dizzy. What's baseball? Well, Dizzy, baseball is kind of a weird version of cricket, is what it is.
Sideways version of cricket.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, some of the skills are probably similar, because you got to hit a ball, and what you guys call the bowler, we call the pitcher, that kind of thing. So yeah, but baseball, and we also had a kind of a version of baseball called softball, which is there's two types, as fast pitch and slow pitch, so anyway, fast pitch softball is a little bit more like baseball than slow pitch is, but anyway, we don't need to get into all that. So and Ash Blackman also said he was sorry to see the Den's channel go down. I guess Den got yeeted by YouTube a long time ago for putting on a video that was already on there, but they yeeted him anyway. So but Dan now's got 2 channels, so hopefully you can find him on YouTube and subscribe to his channels. So yeah, we like Dan. He's a good guy, no doubt about it. So anyway, getting back to the main topic here, I guess, and I guess do not stand by. I guess you kind of told us how you came to know Alita, but tell us a little bit about your first experience watching Alita, and I guess that could be either the movie or the anime.
Well, I'll talk about watching the movie since it affected me much more deeply. I saw it the premiere weekend. I think it was the Saturday of the weekend that it came out in the U.S. And I went in concerned because I saw the Rotten Tomatoes ratings were like around 60%. Yeah. And I, at that time, gave a lot of credibility to Rotten Tomatoes. And I still wanted to see it because I loved Alita from back in the 90s. And I figured, well, even if it's true that's like a 60% movie, I should still have fun seeing her in live action. But I was absolutely floored by what I saw on screen. My expectations were completely blown away. Maybe it was a good thing I went in with low expectations because it really impressed upon me how great this movie was. And I went in with my neighbor, and by the end we were looking at each other and saying, "Did you just see what I saw?"
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
We spent like half an hour talking about it, walking out of the theater. And I went back online. I was like, how could this be rated 60%? I tried to find YouTube videos and what the chatter was online. And I was shocked to see that there were a whole bunch of people dumping on the movie. And I was like, did these people see the same movie that I saw? And gradually I became more and more outraged. At the same time, I kept going back. I saw it first on a Saturday. I had to go back on Sunday. And each time I was watching in IMAX 3D, and I did this for the first 3 weekends when it was still in IMAX 3D. I went every Saturday and Sunday. And I got more and more outraged every time I saw it at how the internet was treating Alita Battle Angel, and I felt like I had to do something about it. And that's when I first started following YouTube videos like Star of Alien and Doc Ito.
Yes.
And gradually I started to hear of this Alita Army, but I wasn't on Twitter, so it took me a while. I just tried to do some things that Alita Army was recommending, like trying to go on polls and stuff, but eventually I figured I have to get on Twitter if I'm really going to be able to do something about all this this bad press for Alita. And so I joined Twitter around June.
Yeah.
And this was also after Alita Army had the exceptional victory in April when they managed to get Alita Battle Angel as a #1 movie on Ranker.com.
Yeah.
And it beat out Godfather and Star Wars, and Ranker.com couldn't have that, so they only allowed Alita to be on top of the best movies of all time for only a few days before they took her down. But that really motivated me to get on Twitter and to join the Elite Army.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Twitter and the Elite Army, because I learned about the Elite Army pretty quickly on Twitter because I was already on it, and I kept seeing some of these tweets, But what's interesting, there's a bigger Elite Army presence on Facebook than there is Twitter, by a lot. And it's amazing how many Facebook groups there are, and how many people are in some of these groups. I think one of the groups alone has like over 13,000 members in it. So I mean, it's the Facebook, and there's also a presence on Reddit too, and of course Angelus mentioned Discord too. So yeah, the Elite Army's online. There's no doubt about that, and they got, of course, certainly we have a significant presence on Twitter too. I don't mean to suggest we don't, but yeah, it's pretty significant. So anyway, do not stand by. Now, you said you saw this in IMAX. When did you first see it in 3D?
Oh, I saw it my first 6 times in IMAX 3D.
Oh, IMAX. I didn't hear that. Okay, cool.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. How many times have you watched Alita overall, or have you lost count like I have?
In the theater, I watched it probably around 24 times, at least 24 times. Mm-hmm. And at home, easily more than 100. Mm-hmm. So I've lost count after 100.
Yeah. And you've undoubtedly read the manga, right?
Yeah, I read the original manga. I didn't read Last Order, though. Yeah. So I still have yet to read that. Yeah,
the Last Order is a little different than the original manga. It's still excellent, though. I mean, I guess Angelus, you can help me out here. Angelus and I kind of went through both the original manga and the Last Order. We kind of went going, in sync with each other, so as one wouldn't get too far ahead of the other, so we could trade notes and stuff like that. But yeah, I suggest if you enjoyed the original manga, you'd probably like the Last Order too. It is a little different. There's no doubt about it. She has a different body, or different, not bodies. She has like 3 or 4 of them, I guess. It's really good, so I think you would like that too. And you mentioned a while ago you did watch the OVA. Did you watch both episodes of it? Because I only watched Rusty Angels, the only one I watched.
I saw both episodes because the videotape that I borrowed from the rental store, it had both episodes.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I got to watch the other episode too. So just to see what it's like. It's funny you mentioned videotape. Cranberry, Jam had they're the bodies right there. Interesting, right? I guess the first, let's see how many, I guess the ones on top, I guess, are all the original manga, isn't it? Angelus, and then I guess maybe plus Tune were in the original. That's right, and all of the Imaginos bodies and all the other, and Alita after being a Venus and all that stuff like that. Different bodies. Those Imaginos. Actually, there's one that's not up there, and that's the Imaginos 2.1 body.
Yeah, that probably you could say that was like a powered up version of
2.0. Yeah, exactly.
Because it slots in between 2.0 and Venus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, those bodies, those Imaginos bodies, are extremely powerful. I mean, it just blew me away when I was reading about when she's in those bodies. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've had discussions with some of my MCU fans, about, and even a couple of DCEU fans that, I'd tell them, that Alita in her Imaginos 2.0 or 2.1 body, maybe even the 1.0 body, is like, she's as tough as Thanos, and they, oh, that's bull, no, I'm not kidding. She is, so, and I guess the Alita after Venus, that body's pretty powerful too, isn't it? Angelus, is from what I remember.
Yeah, because obviously she doesn't have the cattail, but she still would have had the power source, if you want to call it that, from Jupiter's.
Yeah, that's right.
As well.
Yeah, that was after she was connected to the singularity too, I guess. So, and then of course had that interface with Melchizedek and all that kind of good stuff, so she's extremely powerful there too. That might be the Imaginos 2.1 body, I guess. That one, I don't recall it. I think I recall Nova calling it Imaginos 2.1 in the Last Order. So
actually, yeah, because let's not forget, like even in Imaginos 2.1, she can still configure it to her subconscious image of herself.
Yes.
Well, pretty much all the Imaginos bodies can actually. So while she might have thought of the cattail during the dot tournament, maybe she thought, as cool as it is, maybe it isn't as combat efficient, so she got rid of it and got the Danko gun instead.
Yeah, that's right. That's that sentient gun, isn't it? So yeah, exactly. But anyway, do not stand by. If you liked, the original series and the Motorball arc and all that, I think you would like the Last Order. The last, the very last volume is the Zot arc, the Zenith of All Things tournament. And it's, Alita is on this team. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but Alita's on this team called the Space Angels. Her and Zex and Zazie, are on, and it's pretty cool. You gotta read it, and what happens to Alita in that tournament. No, I'm not going to tell you because you need to read it. So anyway, but yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit.
Hang on.
Oh, you pushed the wrong button. You did a creep thing a while ago. You pushed the wrong button.
There we go.
Yeah. It's funny in the Last Order. I won't be giving away too much here, but kind of Alita and Zex. That's the guy you see there with the spiked hair. That guy. Zazie is actually a woman. So. And Zazie is an expert with firearms. I mean, even better than Alita, But anyway, Zex and Alita have this competition thing going between the two of them, and it was funny that, at the, before they go into the Zot, the Zex says, when we get through this, you and I are going to fight, and Alita said, okay. As a matter of factly, because, Zex was in well, he was in a berserker body for a while, I think, but then he got in what's called a Physiroid body, and Alita was in her Imaginos, 2.0 body. So I think Alita would have crushed him if they would have had a fight. But they went into that Zot tournament as teammates, so they didn't need to fight each other at that point. But Zex wanted to fight her. So anyway, she said, okay. It's funny. Ash Blackwind says he's never enjoyed the 3D experience. Well, I'll tell you, Ash, if you ever get over here to the U.S. and you come to Denver, I am so sure that Do Not Stand By would not mind setting up a 3D viewing, of Alita, that you can watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It turned out that Alita Rave also had astigmatism, and he had some special glasses that he put on underneath the 3D glasses. And the 3D actually worked for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's something that could work for you as well. But also, my 3D glasses might be a little bit different from the 3D glasses you've used if you were in the theater. The theater ones are passive, while the ones that I have for my home theater are active, where the active lenses are flipping between your left and right eyes at 144 hertz, much faster than you can notice. But they're also adjusting to try to make it look as sharp as possible, which is different from what you get in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think you would enjoy it a lot. I know I've seen Alita in 3D 2 times at Do Not Stand By's home, and it'll knock your head off. You know, I mean, it will. It's extremely good. You know, I mean, it's you know, we're going to have to do that again too. I'm sorry, Do Not Stand By. I'm inviting myself to your house, but we got to do that again sometime. So
don't worry, you're more than invited. I'm always trying to find excuses to.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get like 20 people too. You know, to
for
do
sure.
that. Yeah, it would be. You know, so.
Especially with people being hesitant about going to watch the movies in theaters, and this is an outdoor experience, and get to enjoy the weather too. So hopefully we'll be able to convince some people to give Alita a chance and watch it in 3D for the first time.
Yeah. Finn asks, what is an astigmatism? Really, that's where your eyes don't line up. You know, I know Alita Rave said he was cross-eyed, but he's really not. But that's what he called it. You know, but it's where your eyes don't line up. You know, and you kind of, it's kind of like off center or something. He has to wear glasses for that. So I think he has a real mild case of that, though. I don't think he's got a bad one. So, okay, let's see. Well, this is kind of a version of questions that we've asked in the past, you know, but Do Not Stand By. What is it about Alita that you love about her the most? What is it do you see in her that kind of draws you in?
I think she's the epitome of what I've been waiting for in a movie character all my life. I've seen so many movies up until Alita, and yet I never felt any of those characters really resonated with me until Alita. So many of the movies that I saw, you have a blank slate character who doesn't have a whole lot of personality, doesn't have a whole lot of characteristics that the audience is supposed to, you know, put themselves in the shoes of. But Alita, she was so different from that. She had the most personality out of all the characters I've ever seen, and the most expressions and emotions and feelings. And it's not that you put yourself in her shoes, but you empathize with her, you root for her, and you feel for her. And even though I didn't care for Hugo that much, to see her in so much pain, to lose him at the end, just brought me to tears the first time I watched the movie.
Yeah, that you know, that one, and when she was in Ash Black, when I said knocked my head off. Yeah, that is kind of an Americanism there, Ash. Sorry, so you got me on that one. So so anyway, yeah, but when that means it was just extremely impressive to me. You know, that's I guess the best way. That's kind of colloquialism for that one. So yeah, but Alita would literally, if I was playing motorball with it, she definitely would knock my head off literally, not just figuratively. So yeah. And you kind of described your history about Alita already, but you said that you saw that in the late 90s, right? Is when you first became aware of her, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I liked the original Battle Angel Alita, but it wasn't so much because of Alita. I liked the cyberpunk elements of it, and it was really hard-edged and really had a very compelling storyline in a very drab cyberpunk world where everybody Alita seems to be so cynical and jaded, but she rises to the occasion in the anime. But on the other hand, I didn't really feel like Alita in the anime was really that different from other anime characters. She was very typical anime, very typical heroic, innocent, and spunky heroine. The movie just took Alita to another level, and Rosa Salazar as Alita just made Alita so much more um, lovable and uwu that I just felt so much more passion to do something about the all the hate that was being thrown Alita's way, and all the people who weren't giving the movie a fair chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I never understood that hate either. I mean, I know I kind of, when I first joined the Alita Army, I've heard tales from some of the Alita Army members that have been around a lot longer than I have, with the Alita Army. And, like John Hoots and some of them said it was really awful in the beginning, about some of the haters and stuff like that. But I did come in on the kind of tail end of that, about how they were accusing us of being, some kind of alt-right kind of terrorists or something. I don't know, not terrorists, but just sort of, I mean, just generally bad people, And I went, what the hell is this? It's a movie, for crying out loud, So anyway, but that always amazed me, that they would, throw so much hate at a movie character like that. It just really was, it was not, I didn't understand it, So anyway.
Well, my understanding was that Alita just happened to come at a really bad time when there was a culture war going on. And the culture war, unfortunately, politicized Alita versus the MCU. And unfortunately, people they started to think of Alita as being for the right, while the MCU is for the left, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So many people in the Alita Army are all across the spectrum in terms of political leanings, but the whole point of a great movie is that it brings together everybody in agreement about what is really humanity at its finest, and that is what I thought was the real tragedy, that people weren't giving her a chance and seeing that she represents the best that we hope for in humanity.
Yeah, I mean, even though she's like 90% machine, it's kind of like what Hugo said. Now, I agree with you about Hugo. I didn't really care that much for Hugo. I mean, at the first part of the movie, of course, when he first meets her, you don't know him, So anyway, he just, he's just like another kid, or something like that. But as the movie went on and he started making a deal, he was a jacker, and he made a deal with with Vector and stuff like that. I really started disliking him, during that, until the very end, when he turned himself, So but yeah, I agree with you. I didn't like him that much either. I thought Alita could do a lot better. But once again, it's a movie, so it's not real life, as they would say. So okay, Angelus, yeah, you've kind of talked about this already, but when did you first learn about Alita?
Yeah, it was during the OVA, and much of like the reason why I love what I love about Alita the most, I guess, stems from the OVA is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
And I loved properties like Akira, Robotech, and a few other sort of sci-fi / cyberpunk series.
Okay.
It was much later on, but before I knew of Alita, that I watched with the animated series Gundam as well. So I like the sci-fi of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess Alita didn't have that sort of impact. Like I said, and like I'll always keep on saying, the live action adaptation is like the missing piece of the holy trinity of that sort of really planted the seed.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that I guess stemming off what I love about it the most is that basically I went in to watch Alita just to flip the critics the middle finger sort of thing. I saw it. Like I always look up the trailer, look up a few reviews as well, and of course I came across the critic reviews. Like,
Yeah.
they were bagging it. It's like, wow. But much like most reviews, like it's like they never really explained why, because like, and it was funny because I did know about Alita. I did see the anime and I did like it, and I'm thinking, this isn't the Alita I remember. This is what they described when they were claiming that they didn't like Alita. It's like, nah, this can't be true. And like even back then, I never really sort of like I always bucked the critic trend as well. So like I said, decided to flip the bird, go watch the movie, and the rest of the essay is history. The seed was planted, and I just loved how close it was to the anime, because like I said, that's how I knew about the leader. That's how I was first introduced to her, was because of the anime. I hadn't even read the manga, even though I knew of his existence up until then. And so the anime was the only link that I had, and it was shortly after that I discovered that 8, 9, 10-minute long video of it side by side, which also sort of blew me away. And
I'm hearing a weird vibration of some kind. Are you hearing that?
I am sitting on a leather seat, so maybe every time I turn around.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's got an egg beater or something going on. It's hard to describe, but anyway, that's cool. Hey, Dizzy, how's it going?
Going on.
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I heard that too, mate. I thought someone was having a good go at it.
Yeah. Well, you're just in time, Diz. You can tell us about Alita. When did you first come to know Alita?
As I think I've said this before, man. It was the OVA, like way back in the day, probably the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
And late night TV. It came on, and it was epic.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about the movie until I saw the first trailer in 2018. I was like, "Yep, sold. Can't wait for this."
That's kind of a different experience than I had. When I saw the very first trailer, it was at our Super Bowl. It didn't appeal to me for some reason. And you know what? I have regrets about that because, after I saw it, and I saw it in a hotel room, I didn't see it in the movie. I just, had regret. I've had regrets. I wish I'd have, seen it in the movie and got on board the Elite Army in 2019 and stuff like that. Well, I got there eventually, but that was, yeah. So anyway, but when did you first see the movie, Diz? Did you see it when it came out?
Yeah, man. I wasn't waiting around for that.
I hear you.
When I saw that trailer of when the leader smashed the pan's head through that table, I was like, I'm sold, man. This is great. I was like, I got to see this. And not only that, the CGI just looked out of this world. I was like, that's like real, but it's not. How do they do that? I got to see this shit. So anyway, I went and saw it about 5 times, and it was unreal.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you seen Alita overall?
Man, shit
Lost
tons.
Count.
Yeah.
Lost count.
It was like 5 times in the movies, and I dragged everyone I could to it. It was like, you got to see this. And then they were all the same, going, how do I not know about this? I said, well, you do now. So now make sure you tell everyone else to go and see
it. Yeah. Now, you've read the manga, right?
I've read the third. I haven't read The Last Order or Mars Chronicles, but I read the original.
Okay, yeah. And you did mention you saw the OVA first. That I think that was the same experience that Do Not Stand By had. He saw the OVA first and then watched the movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. It was back in the day when all the anime, like the 90s anime, was going off.
Yeah.
and like Ninja Scroll and Ghost in the Shell, and just all the classic stuff. That's when they were first coming out, and yeah, this one popped up and it just stood out from the rest. Like it was just awesome.
Yeah. What is it about her you love the most?
But the movie,
Yeah, or the character, or either one.
I don't know, man. She just loves it.
All of it.
She just
Yeah.
smashes people.
Yes.
Yeah, but she's nice at the same time.
Yeah, she's nice doing it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. She's just different than your stock standard, superheroes and all the rest of the characters like her. So
yeah,
I guess, and you can sort of like agree, disagree, or maybe take from it and expand into your own sort of story. But while I want to try to stay away from this sort of controversy as much as possible, Alita's probably most of her traits you're used to. Hang on just 1 second.
Fucking oath, Davo.
I think Davo might be eating a breakfast or something. I don't know what's going on there. So anyway, well, you kind of already described the history of Alita, but when did you join the Alita Army there, Dizzy? You were on board early, weren't you?
Yeah, so like as soon as I saw the movie, I was like I wasn't really on Twitter or nothing like that, and I was like, oh yeah, no worries. And then like I was like one of those Facebook fiends, and then I was like, there's not much really going on here with Alita, so I was like, well, usually Twitter's where it's at when you want to promote stuff, and so I went over there, like made an account. I think very early March was it? Yeah, March. Okay. And then met up with Dennis and Tony and that, and then got the leader page going, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you three, you and Staravelli and Dennis were the first three that I saw that were in the Elite Army, because I was telling them a while ago, I kept seeing these tweets about the Elite Army, and what the hell is this, And you three were the first that
it was
I
pretty
saw.
much Dennis and Tony were the ones that made the page, and then they invited me on to be part of it as well. So it was really early on, but then it was then everything else just fell into place, and everyone just followed along, and it is what it is now, and it's really awesome. Love it.
Yeah,
love being a part of it.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Facebook not much going on now. Now Facebook, there's a lot going on.
I heard you talking about it before. My theory on that is Facebook has the biggest group with the least activity.
Yeah, that's probably true. Although there is the guy that calls himself Alita Army, Turlo Dorman, and he puts a lot of posts on there. I mean, he has some good stuff.
I remember people put rubbish on there too, but like I remember someone put a video up of like this chick eating crayons, just like spam crap,
Yeah. I wonder if that's just clickbait or something,
Yeah, but I'm like get on top of it, delete it out of there, There's people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ash Blackman, I agree with you. We don't want any of that woke stuff, in Alita, in the sequel. That's for damn sure. I mean, everybody knows the Creek is socially, I guess I'm socially conscious and all that stuff. But yeah, we got to keep that stuff out of the movie. We just do. I mean, it's going to ruin it if politics and all that crap gets in there. So anyway, we make sure that stuff don't happen if we can.
Would you guys still watch an Alita TV series or movie without Rosa in it?
Yeah, I probably would, but I think I mentioned this on some streams before. I would not be a happy camper. I would be very disappointed if Rosa wasn't Alita.
I was thinking about when they're talking about doing a live action TV series. they would have to keep the same CGI. Like how, and they couldn't just put a normal person in there without big eyes, could they? So they would have
No.
to use the same CGI.
Yeah.
Here's where I think you could cut costs, deviate, but still keep some measure of high quality, and that's in the if you guys have ever seen the movies like the Resident Evil ones, where that's completely CGI.
Nah,
And
but they look like shit, man. I don't like them.
well, I mean, it's like
This is what I mean. You're not going to beat the magic of the movie. You're not going to have Junkie XL as the dude with the music in the background. You're not going to have All Weathers magical CGI. You know, it's just not going to be on the same level. It's just going to be half-assed. But then
Yeah.
again, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Mandalorian, and that's just out of this world. So
Yeah, it is.
maybe they might be able to do something with it. I hope they can. But it just,
Well,
I don't know. Movie
yeah.
cinema is just cinema.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to beat the original movie though, in the context that, like you said, the Mandalorian was just out of this fucking world. Despite the fact that it's like a completely separate character, it's not Luke Skywalker. Well, he was in there, but like bringing it back to Alita, nothing's going to beat the magic of the Alita cinema. But at the same time, if they release a series like that, even with like they're saying for the level of Mandalorian, I feel it's going to be like sort of super expensive to get that level of CGI on a episodical basis.
Well, for me, I don't care about how they do it as long as they keep that quality up. You know,
That's what's so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's why in my head I'm like, well, I don't understand how they're going to do it, because I mean, you look at characters like Sapan, who's, I don't know, man. I reckon his CGI is even more out of control than the leader in some parts. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you're going to keep it live action. How are you going to do that? Like, you can't just have fucking Tin Man walking around and say this is Sapan.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, they would lose. I think if they did that and they did not have Rosa, as Alita, I think there'd be a lot of unhappy Alita Army members. I think there would be a ton of us that wouldn't like that one bit. I think that the whole trick is for for Robert Rodriguez to direct it. And if James Cameron, of course, is behind him, helping in some way, even if just executive producer or something like that.
He will be, man.
But
he
which
has to
by
be
the
screenwriter too.
He will be.
Well,
I mean, that last video that he said that Robert Rodriguez, when they were talking about what's the next things they can do, the Nerdy Basement one. Well, he was saying that he was talking to Jim about it and how they could get it going. So they're going to be working together. They're trying to get it going.
Well, Rodriguez is actually he's being executive producer of a lot of stuff now. Because if you go look at his IMDb page, he seems to be favoring his role as executive producer over director. Because I looked at his IMDb page here the other day, and I did not see a credit for him on Alita, and which he did direct, So I'm wondering if he's probably still going to direct for sure, because I think he kind of likes it, maybe, But I think if he and Cameron, especially if he's also being executive producer, I think particularly if the Book of Boba Fett is successful, he's going to have a lot of political clout with Disney, and that may be how we get our sequel, as if because I am sure that the Book of Boba Fett's going to be awesome. I am sure it's going to be that, especially if he's involved with it, because look at the stuff he's done in the past, Sin City. He's worked with, Quentin Tarantino, with God, what's that movie a long time ago about the vampires? Yeah, Dust to Dawn. Yeah. I I think we have that kind of drive behind this guy, and he's really busy. I guess he likes working, I guess.
You know, that was the same. That bar was the Alita bar. They just rechanged it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I got to go back and look at that then.
yeah.
So
So the in-fight bar is the one they used in Alita. They just changed. Obviously, made it into the Kansas bar.
wow, cool.
Because that one's on his set. The Dawn to Dusk to Dawn bar was on his set,
Yeah,
like where the Alita set was.
yeah.
And what, they just expanded on that and built Lion City around it, or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if Rosa wasn't Alita, but I'd probably still watch it. You know, I mean, I probably would because I do love the franchise and the character. You know, but I think Rosa, you know, for me, my biggest preference is Rosa. For me, I think she's going to be the best fit for that, and she wants to play the character. I mean, she has said she'd play that character until she was 80 or she was 99 or whatever.
Do you understand why were you trying to say something earlier?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I've already experienced Alita without Rosa, and that's the OVA. And I never watched the OVA again after watching the movie. I mean, the movie is so much better than the OVA that I can't stand to see. It seems like Alita's in a. She's just so inferior in the OVA compared to the movie. So
well, you know, also the OVA though, that's a voiceover thing, I guess. But you know, so I guess that has it going against it. But I kind of agree with you. I mean, I watched the Rusty Angel, you know, one time just out of curiosity, but I haven't watched it but once. You know, so.
Yeah, I've always found that there's the two versions, the two dub versions, and the US version is absolutely terrible. There's a scratchy Alita voice, and it just makes you cringe. But the UK dub version is a lot softer, and her voice is a lot nicer.
Oh, I'll have to get, because I think that's the one I haven't heard, so I'll have to look that one up. I guess.
I think the US versions, obviously, the voice is not as good in my opinion, but it has a bit more detail in like the dialogue, whereas the UK version's the nicer voice, but it's a bit more basic. But
yeah,
you still get what's going on, and to me, it's just way better. And you can see you can find that on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, so I'll look that up then.
Yeah,
and
but you'll see the difference. Like it's like night and day. It's like going from Oscar from Sesame Street's voice to like an actual fucking Angel's voice.
Okay, you've convinced me that.
Trust me, it is. That's what I relate it to.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's like what was it? Oh yes, the difference between a translation and an actual interpretation, because obviously with interpretation you like get into the nuances, the slang,
I think
the grammar of,
I think Do Not Stand By said something about you liked it because of the expressions on the movie Alita's face that couldn't be duplicated in the OVA. Is that right, Dan? Is that what I heard you say at one point?
yeah, Rose's acting through her expressions and through her body language. There's one scene with Ito where she doesn't say a word, and yet you feel so much for her, and that she's so appreciative of Ito accepting who she really is. That is just completely lost in anything that doesn't use the CGI and capture Rose's performance. I just have a hard time seeing any reason why they would want to use somebody else. What would be the reason besides that they just want somebody with more star appeal, like Zendaya? But how would that benefit a character like Alita, who is mostly CGI?
Well, actually, Rosa, Zendaya went out for Alita, and Rosa got the part. So, I mean, that, I think that speaks highly, because Zendaya is a damn good actress. There's no doubt about that. And Rosa still got the part. So that speaks highly of what she must have done you know, how well she did in her audition, you know, because I remember seeing a video with her and you know, the interviewer, and she was on this in this interview with Robert Rodriguez, and you know, she brought up that she had made him cry and he didn't deny it. So you know, that yeah, I can only imagine, you know, that if she had that same kind of, if she applied that same kind of acting skill to her audition as she did the movie, I can see why he cried because she is great.
Yeah, so that article still strikes me as clickbaity. I still don't completely believe it, and I still think that if Rodriguez and James Cameron are at the helm, they won't allow anybody but Rosa to be Alita.
Yeah. The only go ahead, Angelus.
I was going to say, and I'll have to sort of, sorry, that's the door, the wind closing door in the background.
Oh,
and I have to sort of quickly lean back into the one of my previous things with Alita. Like one of the things that I think most people like love about it in the first place is because of the fact that, you know, despite all the work that a lot of the qualities that we see in her, we're used to seeing in, like, you know, other characters or other male characters or non-white or it doesn't even matter at this point, because basically we're not used to seeing these kind of qualities in a character like Alita, and having resonated so deeply with her as well.
yeah.
And going into the TV series, I think, and you guys can feel free to agree or disagree or take on what you will as well. But with the TV series, if they at least, or even the sequel for that matter, if they greenlight it, and then, you know, even if they take another 2, 3, 5, 10 years to make it again, just get it right. I guess is all I can say. Because, like, you know, as I've mentioned in like a few tweets, you at least need Rodriguez and Cameron involved. You need Rosa involved in terms of casting. And, you know, if she's similar to why Zendaya didn't get the part, if they greenlight it, and I was about to say, and the leader is busy. If Rosa is busy with, like, I don't know, season 2 of Brand New Cherry Flavor, or like a 3rd or 4th season of that new wedding show or whatever, or maybe another movie at the time, because, you know, even she doesn't know if it's going to be green or not. You know, that in itself could take like 2-3 years, and then, you know, who's to say that in 1 year's time after that, Rodriguez might be directing a different movie, because they all, you know, have to sort of keep working as well, and that I can understand. But excuse me, if they at least greenlight it, make their intentions known to the world, and keep the key factors, as you guys have said, keep Rosa, keep Rodriguez, have Cameron involved, because it's his, like, it's technically his vision, and like he only ever entrusted it with Rodriguez to sort of, you know, crack the code, so to speak, in terms of the script and making it shorter and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, between those two, if they can figure out the script, then, you know, I'd personally be willing to wait long enough for the stars to align for it to come together. But they just got a green light it, damn it.
Well, you know, I guess if they greenlit it and Rosa was busy, you know, I mean, if she couldn't do it because of scheduling conflict, and they gave it to someone else, I mean, I would give that person a chance. You know, I definitely would. You know, there's no doubt about that. I guess I would still be disappointed that Rosa wasn't doing it, you know, but I would still give the new actress a chance if that happened. But I think, you know, this is just my personal opinion. I don't know Rosa at all in any way, but I would say, just from what I've seen in interviews with her and all, I think she really would want to play the part again, you know. So she would probably try to find a way or work out some kind of deal, about timing for shoots and stuff like that. That's what I think she'd do. But anyway, I don't know her, so I don't, I'm really, talking out of my rear end, as they would say on that one. So, but I do think she really would like to play Alita again,
Well, with that is, oh my God, I've lost my train of thought again. Oh, no, I remember. If she was busy, then and they had to get someone else, like I'd also be of the frame of mind, at least, if you want to put it that way, of giving them a chance.
Yeah.
But like it's like one of those. Again, I keep on referring this to as an alignment of the stars, but or something divine. But like because Rosa made Alita that role of her own, of course it would be hard for a fan to imagine anyone else but Rosa in the role. And because of like she made it hers without being pigeonholed into that sort of genre or character actor, and she did such a phenomenal job with it. It'll be hard. I can't think of any actress in the world alive today that can even come close to sort of filling those shoes.
Yeah.
I can't think of an actress that would come close to sort of doing Alita justice the way that Rosa can.
Yeah.
And it's because of the fact that she did make that role her own in that sort of context that Do Not Stand By and Dizzy, and I'm sure many other Hunter Warriors say that, I prefer to wait for Rosa to be freed to sort of do it. Otherwise, I'm out. And that's there too. I sort of, part of me feels that way as well. So I definitely understand.
Yeah, Finn says he would only go for Alita in the theater. Well, I kind of disagree with you a little bit there, Finn. I mean, I certainly want it to be in the theater. There's no doubt about that. But I think if they did a series, I would be okay with it. I mean, I'd watch it for sure, and even if it's anime, I'd watch it, as long as it was quality. I mean, they couldn't just throw stuff together for money. They can't do that, and me enjoying it.
Well, they can.
Well, yeah, they can, but not get me. They won't. But I'm only one person, obviously. So,
What do you think of that Blade Runner TV show that has a character that's very much like Alita?
I have not seen that, so I'll have to check that out.
I'll show you
the trailer. To me, it looks like the budget is kind of low quality. They're doing a TV series and it's a character that seems to be similar to Alita. So I'm concerned that they would want to do that with Alita as well.
Yeah. Is that on Netflix? Do Not Stand By?
No.
Isn't it Adult Swim cartoon?
Oh, Adult Swim. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. I do know they had a TV series back a few years ago that Jessica Alba was in called Dark Angel, and I saw a couple episodes of that and enjoyed it. I could see where that would have probably been, like an inspiration for Alita, at least in the way that that character is able to fight and stuff like that. Now Dark Angel she's not a cyborg for sure. I think or at least she's not a cyborg in the 2 episodes I saw. So anyway, she's a regular person, a human, but she is quite good at what she does and, that kind of thing. So
genetically enhanced, if I remember.
Yeah, that's right. She is genetically enhanced. That's right. So
again, another Cameron work. So again, they have to have this involved. The same with Rodriguez, preferably the same with Rosa as well, because it's just like ultimately when it comes down to the nuts and bolts, that's all I need to say.
Yeah,
it's a story itself. And even just to throw in my 2 cents, I actually quite enjoyed the trailer and want to go see it myself if I can find a streaming service that does it, that I don't have to like sub for as well, because I hate having like 2, 3, 4, 5 different subs just to watch as many different TV series sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But and yeah, it's a Blade Runner Black Lotus is what it's called.
Well, I enjoyed Blade Runner when I saw that. That was you know, and they had I guess they had a sequel to that, didn't they? Here just a couple of years ago, and then of course there was that. We talked about this on the stream. They had that what's called a sidequel, which they had that movie Soldier. You know that was they used some of the same, you know, plot points and information out of Blade Runner in that, you know, in terms of the names of the battles and stuff like this. You know, so you know it was kind of a you know parallel looking thing, I guess, or kind of thing. So yeah, I guess, you know, my thought is, you know, going back to Dizzy's point a while ago, you know, with how they CGI'd Mark Hamill, you know, in that last episode of The Mandalorian. If they do that with Alita, they better get it right, you know, because you know, if they screw that up, it's going to piss off a lot of people, I think, you know. And I thought what they did with Mark Hamill was pretty good, you know. Now I did see a thing on, you know, a video on YouTube where these guys claim that they did a better job than Disney. I don't know about that, maybe, you know, but I thought what they did with Mark Hamill was really good, you know. And if they pulled that off for Alita, I guess I'd be all right with it, you know. But it still would have to be Rosa, I think.
I feel there's enough, and I say just barely enough characters in the Alitaverse, if you want to call it that you could do a Mandalorian type series on, you know, take your pick. There's Fatigue, there's K. Rool, if they decide to sort of introduce that character, or, you know, Denov Barjack, how did his crew come to be? And, you know, as the Mandalorian being exactly that, Mandalorian, you know, take your pick of hunter warriors.
Yeah.
You know, choose Screwhead, choose Adjicutty, and, you know, give him a more detailed backstory and then expand on that. I mean, like a lot of things have to sort of come together, because then you're messing with, you know, Kishiro's word.
Yeah.
And oh boy, you screw that up, you're going to have just anyone that loves anything about Alita on your ass. But,
oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
You mess with Kishiro's work, you're getting the balls, the horns, the whole 7-foot devil.
Yeah, Bob Iverson brings up a good point. Yeah, I was aware of that, Bob, that James Cameron was behind Dark Angel, you know. I got so many irons in the fire in terms of what I'm supposed to read, what I'm supposed to watch, and stuff like that. That's why I've only watched 2 episodes of it, you know. But yeah, that's right, you know. And actually, Dark Angel, the 2 episodes I saw were actually pretty good. You know, I mean, I enjoyed them, but I just haven't picked it back up. Not because I didn't like them, but because I've been kind of doing other stuff, you know. So, but yeah, you're right, Bob. So. But I think if they did Alita like they did, you know, Mark Hamill, and they had that quality on it, I guess I would be all right. You know, I could live it, because one of the things about that is they didn't use mocap on him at all. It was more of a deep fake type thing, and I
don't know if that would work with the eyes, because
that would be a challenge, wouldn't it?
Because whoever you're face swapping or trying to make it work as, the eyes aren't going to be. They're just going to not work.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty tough, I think. You know, unless they improve the technology somehow. But you know, I do know with Mark Hamill they didn't have mocap, so you know, I mean, you know, I don't know what kind of editing they did on that one, but you know, I think I agree with you, Dizzy. I think the eyes would be a difficult, you know, on that one, and she's got to have those eyes. I mean, they've already started this. They can't come out with a sequel with Alita with regular eyes. I don't think. I mean, that wouldn't work for me. I don't think, particularly since the manga and even the OVA, she has big eyes. That's just the way it is, you know.
I mean, I would be okay if they had Rosa without CGI, if they were looking to do that. But then I'm like, well, how would they do the cyborg part of her?
Yeah.
Then you're just going to have the same CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 grand an episode, mate.
Yeah. Well, you know what though, James Cameron now, he's got like 4 sequels right now to Avatar, because I looked it up on IMDb, and he's got Avatar 2 and 3 are in post already, and he's filming Avatar 3 and 4. So I would bet you he is perfecting that CGI technology right now. He's probably tweaking the heck out of that stuff and improving it in big time ways,
Wow. Sorry, I just Googled.
Oh, that's okay.
Again, using the Mandalorian as a not a crutch, but as a parallel comparison.
Yeah.
Each episode cost $15 million. And I mean, mind you, maybe a huge chunk of that went to the actors. That's fair enough. But I mean, if they spent that sort of money on that, or even make it $5 million an episode.
Yeah.
And, some that would go to the actors, others, and another huge chunk would go to the CGI.
Well, I think they could probably pay that. I mean, I know on that I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there was in the 90s, there was a TV series called Friends, and those actors were getting like $1 million a pop, something like that.
That's probably why the show ended, mate.
Well, it ran for years. That thing ran several years. They had a lot of viewers. I mean, it was, it did real well. And I don't know what the Big Bang Theory got, but I don't know if those folks got that much money, but, I think Jim Parsons got a pretty good amount of money on that one. I don't know what it was, but, they could pull it off, especially with, here's the thing that I think about that Alita didn't have going for her in the first movie that say Disney now or Alita would have going the second. Alita has an army now, and we're going to be doing some of their promotion for them. They didn't have that before,
No. And they probably might actually have some marketing this time, because Disney, when they get behind something, their marketing is pretty good.
Yeah, when they get behind it. Yeah, when they don't get behind it, though, so. But I'm
pretty sure if they're going to be spending $50 million an episode, let's just say it's the same as Mandalorian, they're going to want to promote it, man. Imagine spending that kind of money and just not promoting it.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. I agree. No. Yeah, that just would not make sense. Yeah. So yeah, I could live with an Alita series, most definitely. Especially if they did it and they kept it somewhat faithful to the manga. I mean, certainly they'd have to adjust it in places. And if they were going to entertain doing anything with the Martian Chronicles, they were going to have to do something about the ending of at the end of volume 6. They were going to have to do something about that one, but which I'm not going to say. People need to read the manga. But anyway, they need to. They can make those kind of changes, but if they stay largely faithful to the manga, I'm good with it. I mean, they can make some changes, no problem.
It just dawned on me, there's a whole chunk that the manga doesn't cover, and neither does the movie in a sense. And that's prior to the first arc of the manga and prior to Alita being discovered in the scrapyard in the movie.
Yeah.
The Earn War, for example, there's so much they can do there. They can have Gelda as the main character, and that's another aspect that they could focus on Gelda or a Gelda-centric instead. Although, that might open the door for them to have more of a creative input. I think, if we wanted the conditions of, having Rob on board, having James Cameron on board, it's going to have to be a leader. And of course, if it's going to have to be a leader, it's going to have to be Rosa.
Yeah. Well,
It's going to be an extremely hard sell if it isn't.
Well, there is one positive, in Cameron doing these 4 sequels for Avatar. I guess it was Just a Fan said he was a kid too young to watch it. When it came out. That's that because it was that's been over 10 years. So, but anyway, I think the positive of Cameron doing the 4 sequels, and now Rodriguez getting getting the Book of Boba Fett. Disney's buying into these guys, I think. I mean, they wouldn't let Cameron do 4 sequels of Avatar if they didn't have faith in him, And I think the fact that they're going to let, Robert Rodriguez do the Book of Boba Fett, they're putting some faith into him too. So I see these 2 things as positives, and I'm really hoping that both of those, the sequels for Avatar and the Book of Boba Fett are extremely successful, because that's only going to bolster our chances, I think. Do not stand by. We've been kind of dominating the conversation. Did you want to add anything to that, or your thoughts of, some of the positives behind what Alita has going for her now that she didn't have, in the first movie, in terms of, marketing or promotion or that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, I am, of course, biased towards the theater because they don't make 3D TV shows. I love 3D. And I was blown away in large part because of Alita's special effects and action sequences. I watch other movies and I feel like they're inferior after seeing Alita. And that would be my big worry with the TV show, that it would just not match the mind-blowing proportions that the movie reached. And so I'm still biased towards the sequel. But I am really excited about the Foundation TV show coming out in a couple of weeks. So I guess if there were enough commitment and if there were good faith effort, then I might be able to get behind a TV show. But I'm still going to do whatever I can to push for a sequel.
Alita Fallen Angel, that's what we want.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree. I don't mean to say that I think a TV series, I'd buy that and nothing else. I mean, you guys have heard me say several times, I want all of it. I don't just want a sequel. I want a trilogy at the very least, and maybe 4 or 5 movies and a TV series, and perhaps an anime based on the Martian Chronicles or something like that, and I want all the merch that goes along with it.
And a video game.
Yeah, yes, a video. Now that's one I would buy, because I think I think I play Age of Empires, War Chiefs.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, seriously, because I like it because I always play as the Indian so I can get the white man, and and I have I haven't played Duke Nukem for a while and Doom, but I have these are old games, Dizzy, and another game called Eradicator. I play that from time to time, but I'm just not a big gamer. I don't really play games that much on the computer. So, but if Alita came out with a game, or let's say that they, Chaos and I have talked about this. If they came out with a translation for Martian Memory, I'd get that sucker. And I think.
What if they remade it? A remake?
If they translated it, yeah, I would get that game. Yeah.
What if they remade it with today's graphics, next gen graphics, but it had subtitles? I'd still play it.
Oh yeah, if it had subtitles, I'd play it. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. I'm not anti-gamer, Dizzy. I just don't play a lot, So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get a skin on this one character in Eradicator that's a female character trying to get Alita's body on her. And, and then I'd play the heck out of it. But yeah, I'm not anti-gamer, that's for sure. So yeah, we get all that good stuff. The Creek will be happy. It will be very happy. What I don't want is when I'm in my final days and I'm maybe in the rest home, laying in the bed or whatever, and somebody comes up to me and says, Creaky, they just greenlit an Alita sequel.
Oh,
That
mate.
might energize me. That might get me out of bed. Something like that, so.
That all right. I was just thinking, like, are we actually derailing? Because we're still talking about Alita, and
Yeah,
I guess we're talking about the history and the future at the same time. But
yeah, and we well, this stream, Angelus, we kind of get all over the place a lot.
but I don't think it's derailing like we would see it. But I'm going to have to do it just to sort of describe where I'm coming from. But there's a scene in Rocky 3, I think it is, when after Mickey died, and he's like reliving a memory of him and Mickey training, and Mickey goes to him, I think some people died because nobody wants to live anymore. You keep losing and losing and losing until you think, what am I doing around here? I've got nothing to live for. But with Rocky, Mickey has something to live for, and he will sort of stick around and watch him make do on his words, sort of thing. And that reminds me of what you just said about Alita. If you're on your deathbed and they green in a sequel, it's like all of a sudden, yeah, okay, I can continue on a little bit.
Yeah, just a fan said, Doctor, it's a miracle. The Creek's out of bed.
He's powerlifting the bed.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, yeah, it's a miracle. So anyway, but that's one thing. This is going to be kind of a secondary thing for me, exercising, because I want to extend my life long enough so I know I can see a sequel.
But are you extending your life or wearing it out quicker?
I'm trying to be careful about that, Dizzy. That's why I hired a strength coach, and that costs a little money too. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, got way off topic there on that one. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, I think Disney is starting to I think they're starting to trust Cameron and Rodriguez, because they've got big projects going, and that tells me. And just think of the sheer volume of source material they have for Alita. I mean, holy crap. 36 volumes, or depending on which translation, 38 volumes or whatever it is, that they don't have to come up. I mean, they do have to come up with it somewhat, but it's not like inventing, scripts and stuff like that from scratch, because they do have something to refer to. So, I think, I mean, the groundwork is laid, I think, for Alita to have a sequel.
Well, is it because I'm drawing Dizzy this time, but is it because they're starting to trust him more, or is it because they're starting to run out of shit to remake and reboot?
Probably, yeah, probably a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah, I guess between the fact that they are probably the well is starting to run dry and they're sort of looking at other sources, and in the meantime, Rodriguez and Cameron are just plodding along doing their own thing, and just garnering all that success, and it's like, well, shit, it's becoming harder and harder to ignore them, sort of thing. And I guess that Nerdy Basement interview is where the crack started to show.
Well, here's another positive thing. I think the fact that these two guys they got big projects going simultaneously or concurrently, because I can imagine the Book of Boba Fett's going to be more than one season, for sure, It might go 2 or 3 seasons. You know, who knows? You know, and the fact that Cameron's got the 4 sequels going, so they got all this stuff going concurrently. That tells me they can do more than one thing at a time. You know, so you know, say for instance, the Book of Boba Fett goes 3 seasons, and it goes into that maybe the last. Let's say I'm just talking hypothetically here, but let's just say the Book of Boba Fett. The 3rd season is the end. You know, Rodriguez wraps it up. You know, the last sequel for Avatar, which I think is 2028. I think. So I'd have to go look at the IMDb page again. But I think, you know, with that going on, I think they could agree. They could green light a sequel even then. You know, because they know, okay, now you know. Rodriguez finished. Cameron's got a successful, universe going here with Avatar. Man, let's just move into this and make even more money. That's kind of what I think. But what are we looking at? Oh yeah,
what do you think we're looking at? Rosa.
Yeah, that's Rosa. Yeah.
So you like my movie?
Yeah.
And then us like. This is the morning after the sequel announcement for the Alita Army.
Yeah.
Are we still dreaming? Is this real?
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I saw that. If I mute myself and someone else is talking, I don't want to interrupt. I sort of like try to multitask, and that's what I did, and I discovered that.
Yeah, you know, the creek hasn't been drunk for probably 10 years. But if they greenlight a sequel, I am definitely going to get drunk. There's no doubt about it. You know, now that doesn't mean I haven't been drinking beer. I still drink beer from time to time, but I haven't been drunk for 10 years. So, so you know, I think if they greenlight that sequel, the Creaky is really going to get drunk. That's for sure.
Sorry, unless you've got another slide coming up, that's something else you can sort of tack on the end of this one, if you will, impromptu.
Well, I got a couple of slides after that, but they're just outros. You know, I mean.
Yeah. What would you do? I mean, I know it's sort of been covered before, but I don't know. Sometimes, especially leading into Radio Chaos's topic tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, I see it as a healthy thing of like rehashing history and, you know, regaling ourselves and other hunter warriors with old stories. And you know, I mean, what would be like your legit plans once they do sort of release a sequel? You know, I mean, obviously. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We'd have our own sort of level of celebration.
Yeah.
You know, I might, depending on how COVID is, I might actually, you know, fly down to Sydney, or even as far down as Tasmania, depending on what maximum Dizzy.
How far is it from Brisbane to Sydney?
It's about like a 12, 13 hour drive, or like a 3 to 4 hour flight, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you could definitely watch Alita during the flight, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what we could do is, you know, when the creek finally comes to Straya, you know, then you could fly down to Sydney, and Dizzy could take the ferry over to Sydney or whatever it is you got going over there. That's pretty far away for a ferry, I guess. So isn't it, Dizzy? I'm not sure about that. So, but anyway, yeah, we could all 4 meet up, you know, and, you know, drink beers and watch the Alita sequel. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be basically when you can finally not quarantine for 2 weeks whenever you travel interstate, let alone internationally.
Yeah, Just a Fan says, yeah, they can stuff their pockets with dollars. Yeah, I have no problem with that because I am a shareholder in Disney, so which means that means I benefit from it too. You know, although I'm not a big time shareholder. So anyway, I wish I was.
What about Do Not Stand By? What's like? I don't think I've heard you. I mean, we've heard your story now, but Yeah. What would you do when they announce the sequel?
Yeah. Sorry, I got to run. I got to
Yeah.
get ready for the movie night and finish a quick dinner before that. But I just wanted to say that if they do greenlight a TV series, we shouldn't stop pushing for a sequel. We should totally support the TV series, but never stop pushing for the
No,
sequel.
that's right. Yeah, I agree. The Creek wants all of it, not just a series and not just a sequel. The Creek is going to keep pushing. Even if we've had 4 movies, I'm going to be pushing for a 5th movie.
Right. So we'll support the Disney marketing team on whatever they're doing, but we're not going to let off the pressure until we get the sequels.
That's right. I agree. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Have a great night. Great weekend, guys.
All right, there. Do not stand by and have a great viewing, man.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
All
Bye.
right, we'll see you. Bye. So anyway, well, I guess we've been going almost 2 hours. I think we might have lost Diz. I'm not sure. Diz, are you still there?
Yeah, man, I was just making a brew.
Oh, you're drinking the caffeine gold, huh?
The one and only.
Yeah. Oh, Creaky had about 4 cups today.
Yeah, I'm just on me second, mate. And then after this finishes, it'll be on to the other type of brew.
Oh yeah.
The one that requires a hard-earned thirst.
You know it, mate.
Yeah.
That's a Aussie reference. It's part of a beer commercial.
What's that, Angelus?
There's a beer called VB, and it's like their slogan, if you will, is for a hard-earned thirst, you need a big cold beer. The best cold beer is Vic, bitter.
You said it, mate. None of this Forex shit.
I heard that the Aussie breweries or whatever, they're not exporting Fosters to the U.S. You know, they probably, yeah, well, no, no, I don't mean that. I mean, I heard that it was more like, what's that beer you guys got called Crown Royal or something?
Crown Lager.
Crown Lager. Yeah, that's right. That your
That's shit too.
Oh, it is. Oh, never mind. Well, I haven't drank a Foster's in 20 years, so I don't know.
I haven't even drank one, man. I tried to find one here the other day at the bottle on there. They didn't even sell it here, so I can't even tell you if it's shit or not. But I'm assuming it is. That's why they don't sell it.
Yeah. They got a commercial over here in the U.S. that they have some Aussie on, and they'll do stuff like. Some outrageous thing about what they call a guy that sleeps with the socks on his shoes under his bed, and they call it aromatherapy or something like that. And then they say, that's Australian for aromatherapy, like, Foster's is Australian for beer. And I thought, no, I don't believe that.
Yeah, nah.
I like when I do drink beer, though. I prefer actually stout is what I like to drink.
Isn't that just all the dregs and all the crap at the bottom?
No, man, it's brewed that way. It's I like chocolate stout is what I like. It's heavy. I'm a beer snob when I do drink it. So, I don't like lager. It's just it doesn't do anything for me. So.
Give me a bitter any day, mate.
Yeah. Oh, I love bitter. Yeah. Yeah, I drank the heck out of that stuff when I went to England. So
that's how I like me coffee too.
Yeah.
Quite bitter.
Yeah, mate. No sugar, 50 teaspoons of coffee, mate.
Yeah. Well, they have a beer over in Finn could probably tell us about this, although he's in Switzerland. He's not in Germany, but they call it Dunkless, which means it's a really dark beer, and it's heavy. I like that too, Any heavy beer I like, So
Guinness?
Yeah, Guinness is okay. It's okay, but I like chocolate stout better,
Guinness, yuck. You need a bloody, like a thick shake straw, mate, from Macca's to get that shit down.
Well, like I say, I prefer chocolate stout. So they have a pretty good, they have around Denver and even around the place I live in, North Carolina, they have some, particularly Denver, they have a lot of microbreweries. And man, there's more beer around here. Yeah, Finn, when I mean heavy beer, I mean Dunkless. You know what that is. So it's called stout also. So anyway, but that's Creek's beer. Okay, well, I guess we kind of wore this topic out. Got to get our sequel. Got to get our sequel. Got to get everything else that goes with it. That's what the Creek wants. So anyway, just to wrap up, Dizzy, any last thoughts?
Nah.
This is it.
I don't know any, man.
Well, if anybody wants to come on the after stream, I'm putting
just last thought is, we're not going anywhere, not for a long time. Even not for a long time after the sequels are announced and made.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, well, anyway, Did we miss anything?
No.
I don't think so.
Although I do miss Rosa.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish she'd come back to Insta.
Yeah, I'd love seeing Rosa and Alita sequel. That'd be great. I kind of miss her being on social media too. It's she's closed all of her social media accounts. I can't blame her either. But and there she is. There's our queen of the Elite Army. That's member number 00001. So anyway, she is the leader of the Alita Army. So anyway, we hope that she's Alita, and during when we get a sequel and Alita 3, Alita 4, and Alita 5. That's what we want. So I'd like to see Rosa they do her up like in the Imaginos body. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah, would it be epic? Is what it would be.
Hey, and then she can even have that one on there where she's got the tail, mate. Your favorite.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'd love that. That is the Creek's favorite version of Alita is the cat Lita. Although I'm a dog person, but I love that tail.
Imagine like for Halloween this year, Rosa brings back her social media, and then for Halloween she is in that costume.
Oh,
cosplay.
God almighty. Yeah. God almighty, I'd fall in love with her.
Hey, mate, you'd be in the hospital on the ventilator, mate, under the heart attack shit.
Probably, man. Probably, yeah. I'd fall in love with her if she did that. So, all right. Well, anyway, Angelus, are you going to be the host tomorrow, man?
Most likely, yeah. Okay.
So anyway, you want to talk a little bit about what we're going to do on Radio Chaos tomorrow?
Give me just a sec because I'm having a mind blank on the topic.
Are you beating eggs or something there?
He's
Angelus?
beating something, mate, and it ain't eggs.
No.
God, that hurts.
Stupid. All right, cool. No, loading up the show notes.
Okay.
So yeah, episode 81, supporting a leader, Battle Angel through the dark times.
Yeah.
Or, it doesn't even have to be that negative. You could translate that to supporting leader through the downtime, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is going on 2 years. And yeah, if you've got any ideas or suggestions on what we could do, and the more, I guess, inventive, the more inclusive in the sense that anyone in the fandom can do. Doesn't have to be over Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah.
And one example that we'll probably touch on and dig into a little bit deeper is Bloody's photo shoots of Hot Boys Alita sort of thing, That's one definite good way that we can support Alita and the fandom as well through the dark time. So yeah, jump on and have a listen, and if you want to, even have a chat with us. Sign up on the guest sheet and knock it out of the park.
Yeah, one of the what they call it, a six in cricket.
Hit for a six.
Yeah, hit for a six. Yeah, yeah. My grandfather used to play cricket when young lad in England. But anyway, yeah. I think one of the things about this topic too is that we certainly can talk about the success of Alita Day. And actually, we're still kind of doing that here, and we're going to be doing that with Radio Chaos tomorrow. And I know I put out a lot of videos as premieres, like 6 videos, for this. So we've had a very successful Alita week, not just Alita Day, and we can thank Amy, for that. Amy restored the Snyderverse or Snyder Cut. Or Snyderverse, I guess it is, for really driving that, mass tweet event that we did, so, I mean, and another big positive on this that we can even talk about tomorrow on this one is Robert Rodriguez in that interview that he just gave that he wants to approach Disney after the Book of Boba Fett is successful about Alita. Man, that right there energized me, and seeing what's going on with Avatar and knowing that Rodriguez is going to do a great job with a Book of Boba Fett, boy, that just stoked me big time, man. I mean, I'm ready. That's probably why I put out. Actually, this week I actually put out 7 videos. So anyway, yeah, it's a big positive, I think. Anyway, any more thoughts on this one, Angelus?
Negative.
Yeah.
Prepping for tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the Creek's going to be managing the stream here tomorrow too. So anyway, I'll put my 2 cents in there from time to time. Not that that's a big deal. And we want to remind everybody that the brand new cherry flavor is on Netflix. So, it's still on. I'm not sure how long it's going to run. I don't know what's going on there. I think you binge watched this, didn't you, Angelus?
Yes.
Yeah.
All 8 episodes from the first day.
You haven't, Creaky?
I'm sorry?
You haven't?
No, I have not binge watched it yet. I watched some of the first episode and then I had to quit and do something else.
Oh, mate.
So,
mate.
Yeah, I
Get
know.
into it. As soon as you hang up from the call here, you need to get on there and binge it.
I'll do it. Of course, I promised Maxie I'd read his fanfic too. So I guess I'll do that.
When the audio book comes out, I'll listen.
Get into it like a certain someone did with a certain side child.
Yeah. But anyway, watch this because it's got Our Lady in it, and she's. I haven't seen it, but I tell you, Dizzy and Angelus will tell you probably she does a bang up job in this thing. So, and she's pretty too. That doesn't hurt. So anyway, watch this. And I guess that kind of wraps it up for the old Alita live stream here. And of course, like I always say, why is this image here? Well, everybody knows it's because I like it and I'm running the stream. And of course, to paraphrase Gowishka, I am only here for our girl and the Alita Army. Any last thoughts, Dizzy or Angelus? Okay, so
we all love Alita.
We love Alita. We love Rosa. We love the whole thing. We love all of it. So, but anyway, I guess we'll end up here with our call to action. That's going to be the modified. Well, it's not modified anymore. I guess it's overtaken the other one. So, the former one about the Blu-rays. But anyway, the new call to action is not buy those Blu-rays, but film those sequels, baby. So on my count of 3, 1, 2, 3. buy
Film those
those.
sequels, baby.
Yeah, do that. Buy them and make those sequels too, or film them. Do either
Come
one.
on, you all right, Creaky? You all right,
Yeah,
mate?
Creaky's losing his mind, so he's gonna have to get off here. See you later, folks.